Hello friends, I am Dr. Sujata Vishwakarma from Department of Management. I am the Assistant Professor from School of Management Sciences, Lucknow. Welcome you all to the series of lectures on supply chain and logistics management. Students, today we are going to talk about a topic which is performance measurement and dimensions. In this particular topic of ours, we will be understanding that why performance measurement is important. But before that, we will also understand that what performance measurement is, why it is important, and what are the different dimensions that should be considered by any organization which is trying to measure its performance in terms of supply chain. So, let us get started. So, over here we need to understand that what is performance measurement. So, before that we should also know that what is performance. Performance is basically in whatever activity that we do, we have certain expectations that how well or how average the particular activity will be, the outcome of that particular activity will be. So, that means when we try to compare the expectations with the actual, that leads to performance, and every individual, every organization likes to compare their performances in terms of various aspects, various activities or processes that they do in order to improve their the performance of their activities. So, over here we need to understand that performance measurement is a process of quantifying the efficiency and effectiveness of an action. This definition was given by Neely, Gregory and Platt. In the previous classes of ours, we had also discussed about that what supply chain is. So, just to recapitulate once again, that supply chain management is the planning, management and control of entire material and service flow, including the related information and money flow. So, over here in this particular lecture, we are trying to club both these aspects, that means performance measurement in supply chain management. In the previous classes, we have already discussed that supply chain is basically a process in which lots of activities, lots of people, lots of organizations are involved, and it refers to basically the complete entire flow of material, starting from the raw material, which obviously starts from suppliers and then to the conversion and final delivery of the product to the customer end, and obviously it is a complete cyclic process. So, we need to, because since there are a lot of activities involved in this complete supply chain, so it is very important and intricate to understand that how the performances are varying, and if they are so, then obviously there is a requirement to control it and improvise it. So, let us talk further. Now, since we know that there are different activities in supply chain, and it may be very difficult to measure each and every quantity, each and every activity in a similar manner, and so there are various kinds of methods of measurement or various kind of parameters or dimensions of measurement, which we will obviously discuss in detail. And just to introduce you that these dimensions can be qualitative and quantitative, and so obviously the performance measurement also becomes very critical, confusing and changing, and there is always a need of changing the matrix or the index of performance measure, because we cannot keep the same kind of performance matrix or measurement tool for each kind of process or activity. And so, it is very important, and at times if the person who is engaged in the activity of performance measurement, if he is not properly understanding the importance of that particular tool or how to apply it, then it may also lead to lot of confusions. So, we need to understand all these details in quite a bit. Now, coming to the needs of performance measurement, why do we actually need, why an organization needs to measure the performance of its supply chain activities. So, first is to align activities and implement strategy that achieve supply chain objectives. The second being to improve efficiency and to reduce inefficiencies. So, basically over here we mean that since the organization is involved in lot of activities, and there may be chance that some of the activities are not very productive and are not leading to addition of value to the customer. So, a company needs to identify all these areas, gray areas that may lead to incurring of cost. So, the organization needs to identify them, reduce them, or rather eliminate them, and so that they can reduce not only the cost but also the time and deliver the product to the customer at the right time, right place, in the right quantities as well. The next need of performance measure is to obtain a competitive advantage. Now, we had already discussed that competitive advantage is basically having skills and capabilities where an organization is able to leverage on its skills and capabilities uh, so that they are taking advantage over the competitors. That means they are having more of market share, more of sales, or more of goodwill in the minds of the customer, or the perception of the product is much better in the mind of the customer in comparison to the competitor. So, any company can gain competitive advantage only and only when they are differentiating their product or the complete supply chain process in terms of either the cost or in terms of either the value added features. So, a company needs to always continuously monitor that what are the different aspects related to the complete supply chain, and what are the aspects or the areas which are not adding any value or are leading to increase of cost. So, that needs to be eliminated as well. Coming to the fourth need, that is to determine the interrelationship between functions. Since supply chain is a process which is very much integrated in nature, that means there are a lot of people, lot of organizations, lot of processes which are interlinked and interdependent on each other. That means happening of one will obviously have a the outcome of one will impact the or will act as an input for the other. So, over here also the organization needs to understand that what is the dependency, whether it is linear, cyclic in nature, and what are the cascading effects of each of the activity on other, and then probably have a understanding that how important each and every activity is, and if so, if found that any activity is not of great relevance, then that can be eliminated or maybe taken out. To identify the complexity, because complexity is in any particular process always increases the time and reduces the productivity and the efficiency. So, one needs to identify, the organization needs to identify the complex areas of the supply chain process. Then to allocate the benefits and risk uniformly. Every organization has lots of processes. Under these processes and activities, there may be certain activity or process which are more risky in terms of cost, more risky in terms of time, more risky in terms of the value addition that they are adding to the customers. So, the company needs to understand that whether this risky element should be there in the supply chain process, or if not required, then probably one can eliminate or can work out on reducing the effect of this risk associated with the particular process. And the last but not the least, the need of performance measurement is also to achieve the goal of encouraging cooperative behavior. Since supply chain is, as we have already discussed, always discuss that supply chain is a process which is integrated in nature. So, communication is something which is very important in a supply chain process, and each and every participant of supply chain must understand that what is the role of other person, other organization, and they should be very much working in collaboration, and communication is very important. And so, this understanding of performance, how my performance is leading to the increase or decrease of the performance of the other participant, will obviously lead to more cooperative behavior. So, these are the various needs of performance measurement. Now, moving ahead, we should also understand over here that what an ideal performance measurement tool should answer to. So, a good performance or effective performance measurement method should basically answer these four kinds of questions. First, what to measure? I mean, what is the thing that has to be measured, whether we are measuring time, cost, interrelationship, or something else. So, this is one need to understand. Then, how multiple individual measures can be integrated. Traditionally, what used to happen, that organizations used to measure all these aspects on a separate or isolated form, but with coming of the concept of supply chain, organizations started believing that since all these activities are interlinked, so we cannot measure the performance also in an isolated manner, and every parameter or every dimension of the supply chain needs to be studied or measured in a collective manner to understand the interrelationship between each other. So, the company needs to understand that which all individual measures can be combined together to understand a more effective result. Now, how often to measure? A company must also know that when to measure and how often to measure. That means, should we measure the particular dimension of the supply chain on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis, on a month-month basis or so. So, this is something that is very, very important, because measurement is obviously a cost incurring process. It is a time-taking and cost incurring process. And how and when to re-evaluate, this is also something very very important, because once we have measured, once we have found out that yes, what are the weaker areas and what are the strength areas, obviously the company needs to start working and implementing on improving the activities. And if they have done so, then what is the next time that they should do a re-evaluation, and should they re-evaluate on the same parameters, or something else is also something very very important for an organization to understand. So, moving ahead, supply chain performance measurement focuses on alignment, customer satisfaction and holistic view. Now, what do we mean by alignment? Alignment is basically a concept where organization tries to align all the intra-organizational, inter-organizational, intra-organizational activities and the complete supply chain strategies, so that they are able to achieve their end-term goals and objectives. Every organization has certain goals and objectives, and in order to fulfill those objectives, the organization has a particular kind of supply chain network. So, they need to understand that whether the particular objective of theirs are in collaboration or in alignment with their vendors, with their suppliers, with their distributors or not, because if they would also have different kind of objectives and goals, then probably the supply chain management will not work smoothly, and then probably the services offered by each of the participant will not be in a linear or in a collaborative manner. And so, they need to understand that the goals and objectives and the functionality associated with the goals and objectives are all in a aligned manner. Now, coming to the second focus area of performance measurement of supply chain, which is customer satisfaction. Now, over here students, you need to understand that in case of business organizations, the end objective is obviously customer satisfaction, because if a customer is not satisfied, there is no need of having any offering of product, service or the entire complex process of supply chain. So, customer must be satisfied, and if customer is not satisfied by, say, the time, the cost, or maybe the speed at which the supply chain is working, then obviously there is no result. So, the company must understand that what are the expectations of the customer may be the end term customer or maybe the intermediary as well. So, so the company must understand that what are the customer expectations, and accordingly obviously they should understand the role and the contribution made by each of the participant or by each and every activity. So, this is also very very important. Now, coming to the systematic and holistic view, which is very very important focus area of performance measurement. Over here we are talking about that the organization must be moving from simple functional should be moving towards simple functional excellence, because as and when an organization tries to adopt any complex process, it becomes very very difficult for all the people of an organization to understand it, and obviously the goals, it will become lead to difficulty in achievement of the goals. So, the organization should consider a holistic view, that means it should consider all the participants, the benefit of the particular activity which they are going to measure in the holistic terms, in considering all the stakeholders, and then probably that particular aspect should be taken care while measuring a performance of the supply chain. Now, talking about the dimensions of performance measurement. So, as you can see over here, there are basically two kind of dimensions, the qualitative and the quantitative dimensions, and these qualitative and quantitative dimensions can further be broken down into various other sub dimensions. The qualitative dimensions can be considered as quality and customer service, while the quantitative dimensions can be considered as cost, time, productivity, resource utilization, flexibility and reliability. Now talking about each of them individually, since all these dimensions are somewhat absolutely related to the supply chain process. So, quality of supply chain basically means that when an organization is adopting the particular process of supply chain, what is the value addition that they are wanting to happen in the minds of the customer, what is the quality that they want to deliver through that supply chain. If they are including lot of intermediaries, if they are having lots of transportation or maybe less of transportation, then what is the advantages that they are wanting to deliver it to the product, that deliver through that supply chain process to the customer. That means quality is basically talking about the quality of the performance of the supply chain process, be it transportation, be it logistics, warehousing or any other activity of the supply chain. Coming to the customer service, this is also very important, because we as we had discussed earlier also in the same lecture, that if the end customer, if the end customer or the intermediary who is the customer of the company, if they are not satisfied and if we are not able to judge the satisfaction level of the customer, whether they are preferring or wanting that particular service from us or not, then probably there is no point of having or adopting the particular supply chain process. So, customer service is also something very important, and it should be measured in terms of the repeat purchase, the frequency, the time of order that they are ordering, the quantities of order that they are ordering. So, all these dimensions shall be taken care in order to measure the dimension of customer service. Now, coming to the cost. Since cost is something very important, because in each and every activity that a supply chain has, lot of money is involved, and money is always a very limited resource for any company. So, they must measure the cost involved in each and every activity or process, and whether the cost involved is actually leading to the profit generation or revenue generation to the company or not. If the cost involved is more than what the company is expecting or is actually getting, then probably it needs to be rechecked once. Time is also something very crucial, because time in today's world, time is money, and if the organization is having delay in or have a long time of delivery to the customers, in terms if they are having they are utilizing more of time, they are investing more of time in offering a particular product or in offering particular service. That means, say the transportation is involving lot of time, or maybe the assembly process is taking lot of time, or maybe the customer delivery is taking lot of time. So, if anything such is happening, then this is also something which needs to be measured on a regular basis. Productivity is something very important, because organization must try to optimize the resource utilization, which is very much the next topic. Try to optimize the resource utilization by trying to reduce the kind of waste that they may produce, because only and only when they are properly able to use all the machinery, all the tangible and intangible resources, then only their productivity in terms of efficiency and effectiveness will increase, and that will obviously lead to not only the customer satisfaction, but increase of profit also to all the participants of supply chain. The supply chain should also be very flexible in terms that they should be responsive to the customer's need. Since the external environment is very dynamic, and similar is the case with the customer's preferences. The preferences of customer is also very dynamic and changing day by day with the coming of technology. So, if a company is not able to adapt themselves or respond to the changing needs and preferences of the customer, then probably they may lose on certain market share, or may they may lose on the profitability. So, flexibility is very important, because an organization needs to address to the not only the product quality that they are the change in the product quality, but also change in the in the location of the delivery that if the customer is wanting, or change in the type of quantity that they are looking forward for. So, all kind of responsiveness should be there in a supply chain process. Talking about the reliability aspect, reliability is something which is very important, because if a supply chain is not reliable, that actually means that say there is a supplier who is sending me or delivering me products at let's say 3 days after my order. Now today he has ordered me the product after 3 days. Now maybe the next time that I order, he has taken more of time, he has taken 5 days. Then in that case, obviously I would have an expectation that the product will be received by me in 3 days only. That may lead to customer dissatisfaction. And this is not only in terms of time, it is also in terms of the quality of the product. That means whenever, say for example, whenever we are ordering anything from e-commerce channel today, we are doing so only with the belief that the particular channel is reliable and will offer us the product that is shown on the website. So, that means our supply chain should be reliable not only to the customers, but should also be reliable to the various nodes or the partners that they have in the supply chain process, because that will only lead to the collaborative effort and mutual benefit to all the participants. Now, talking about the characteristics of effective supply chain performance measures. The characteristics include inclusiveness. Inclusiveness basically means that any performance measurement tool that is taken by an organization should combine or should incorporate all the aspects pertinent to for the measurement, and should be holistic in nature. That means all the members, all the people, all the processes should be taken in consideration before implementing or considering any supply chain performance measurement tool. It should be universal in nature also, which means that a particular measurement tool, if adopted, let us say in India, has a certain kind of outcome, the same or similar kind of outcome should be expected by any other organization other than India. So, for example, that means if any organization which is there in US or Pakistan or Bangladesh or Singapore, then they too should be, when they too are implementing that particular performance measurement tool, then the outcome should be similar and should not deviate to the extreme levels. It should be it should have an aspect of measurability too, which means that the ideal performance measurement tools are basically quantitative, because it is very easy for us to understand the good and the bad performance through the numbers. So, it should be data driven, it should not be judgmental only. The next characteristic is that it should be consistent. That means each time that particular organization is when using that particular tool, it should give a consistent or uniform kind of result. Obviously, the result may vary depending on the inputs given, but if the inputs are similar, then the results should be the outcome should be on a similar basis. That means there should be no noise or disturbances in the measurement tool that may lead to a different outcome. Then derived from strategy. This means that any performance measurement should before implementation should be very well derived from the strategy. That means what is that we are looking forward for after measuring whatever that we want to, and after adoption of particular measurement tool, what is the outcome that we are looking for, and whatever the results are, how would we actually implement it in our process, how can we consider it in our processes, so as to improve our working and so as to improve the competitive advantage as well. Then it should be simple to understand, because an organization has all kind of people. I mean it has top level, middle level and lower level people in the management and other employees as well. So, a performance measurement tool should be such that each and every participant who is or on whom this measurement tool is being applied should be able to understand the importance and should be able to participate in this performance measurement process. It should be this performance measurement tool should be done timely, and accurate feedback should be should be is expected from the I mean tool, because any measurement tool which is quite long will always be very cumbersome, and complex process will become complex process for the organization to adopt it. And it should be giving accurate feedback. That means it the kind of results that I am kind of results that I am expecting, and the kind of questions that I am going to ask in this performance measurement tool should be correlated. Then the focus of measurement should obviously be on improvement. Any measurement tool implemented and any such thing done without a further strategy or without a further vision of improvement does not make any sense to the organization. It is a complete vain process. Now, it should be objective and not based on opinion. Performance tool should never be on opinion, it should never be judgmental, because different people of different areas of different departments may have a different opinion about the same thing. So, one should be very objective that what is the matrix that we are considering for performance, and it should not at all be judgmental or perception based. Based on the trends rather than snapshot, that means the performance measurement tool adopted by the company should not take a one time perspective under consideration, while take a longer duration in consideration while taking the measurements, or while taking it in objective, because one day the performance may be higher on a higher end, and or the other day it could be at a lower end. So, an organization needs to take an average perspective that what is the performance. Employee should this performance measurement should also employ ratios rather than absolute numbers, because if we are taking a comparative view of two of the dimensions, then probably we will get a better picture. For example, cost and time, for example, cost and customer services. So, these are the various ways through which we can correlate two dimensions together, so as to find a better understanding that whether the input of one is leading to the increase of the output or not. Because if we are considering only one dimension at one time, that may not help us in understanding that whether the performance is good or bad. So, relative or comparative view is always better. Over here we can also see the performance evolution, performance measurement evolution, and over here we see that the performance evolution started from 1980s and obviously has continued today also. Initially the organizations used to be systematically large organizations, and then evolved from business organizations, then automated business processes, and then today we are in the era of e-commerce. So, earlier the focus used to be more on cost accounting orientations. The focus was much more on finding out the cost aspects of each and every independent activity, and then it changed to a mix of financial and non-financial orientation, and a mix of retrospective and proactive approaches. And then with the coming of e-commerce, a balanced and integrated orientation was much more in focus, when proactive approach was taken in consideration, when the organization started believing that performance should not be measured only when the action has completed or a particular process has completed. Rather, companies started believing that the performance should be measured while the process is continuing, or maybe measured before it is happening. That means a proper planning is also very much required. So, with this we have understood much about performance measurement today. For detailed study, you may go to these references. Thank you.